Welcome back for another Razer Chroma tutorial video. By popular request, I decided to make a Batman-themed Chroma profile for you guys today. Over the past couple years, I've gotten several requests by viewers to make a Batman logo, so that's what we're gonna do today for you guys. Now please, before you go and download this profile, there's something you need to understand about it. If you guys are importing this profile onto your keyboard setup, make sure you go to the wheel effect, double click on any affected key on here, click on this center point icon, and make sure that the center point of your wheel effect is just below your keyboard. Otherwise, when you go to import it, it may look a little bit funky on your guys' setup depending what you have. So like I said, download link will be in the description below, but if you guys want to learn how to make it, stay tuned. I'm going to show you guys just that, but I'm going to stop blabbering on and I'm going to get right into how to make this video. This design is Batman. So to create a custom profile, make sure you have the Studio module installed, and we're working in the Studio tab of Synapse. Click these three dots at the top and click Add. This will create a brand new profile. Okay, now the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna double click on any of these colored keys, and that's gonna select all of our lighting zones that we have available. We're gonna click these three dots right here in the effect layer list, and we're gonna change this from spectrum cycling to a starlight. We're gonna click on our color gradient bar up here, and we're gonna click a single color node, and we're gonna change this to white. So now we have a bunch of white starlights bouncing around our whole entire gaming setup. Next, what we're gonna do is we're going to add a reactive. On the bottom left, we're gonna click the reactive effect layer. Click on this new effect layer, and we're going to select all of our keys on our keyboard. And I'm also going to select all of my lighting zones on my mouse. We're gonna click on our color drop down here, and we're gonna choose a yellow color and hit save. Next, we're gonna add a wheel layer. So click on your wheel effect layer. With this wheel layer selected, we're gonna select all of our lighting zones on all of our devices. We're gonna click on the color drop down, and we're just gonna choose this 5-node pattern right here. We're gonna delete these first 2 nodes on the left. Okay, so that leaves us with 3 nodes over here on the right. This middle node, or this first node now, we're going to make invisible. We're going to click on this green node, and we're going to slide that over a little bit closer to the invisible one. And we're going to make this white. And we're going to hit the addition symbol to duplicate that white one. Drag this a little bit closer to the last black node. Click on that last node there, and we're going to make that invisible. Next, we're going to click off of this little window into this dark gray area, and we're going to click on this center point icon. We can place our center point of our wheel effect, and I'm going to place it just below my keyboard. So right here in the wrist pad area. So now you can see you kind of have like a radar scan looking effect that's going over all of your keyboard lighting devices. So now I'm going to click into this gray area to deselect all of the lighting zones. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold control, and I'm going to scroll wheel up and just zoom in on my keyboard here, and hold control and select out the shape of your Batman logo. So that'll be these keys right here. Click on your color gradient bar, and these white nodes we're going to change to yellow, and change this other white node here to yellow. So now as your wheel effect comes over the keyboard, it's going to light and highlight the Batman logo. This looks good. I'm gonna hit save. I'm gonna hold control, and I'm gonna scroll wheel out a little bit, and I'm gonna copy this effect. So select one of the keys, the yellow keys that you just made, Control C to copy the effect that's on there, and I'm going to Control V and paste the yellow onto my scroll wheel and the Razer logo on my mouse. That's all we're doing with this layer. I'm going to hit save. Next, we're going to add an audio meter effect. Click on the audio meter layer, and we're going to hold control, and we're going to just select out the same keys that make the shape of our Batman logo. So select these keys right here. I'm going to boost up to 1.5 on the properties, and I'm going to bring my decay down just a little bit. just like that. Next, I'm going to click on my color gradient, and I'm going to click on this 2-node pattern right here, the green and the black. And so we're going to drag this middle node about halfway. We're going to click the yellow color node, and we're just going to drag this down dark on our brightness. Okay, so we got a dark yellow color right here. Next, we're going to click and grab this green node, and we're going to drag it over towards that dark one. With this green node selected, we're going to click yellow. So we have a dark yellow and a bright yellow for our 2 color nodes. So holding Control, we're going to deselect the bottom row keys. So all the affected keys that are on the bottom row of our keyboard. Click on your color drop down, and we're going to drag the nodes over a little bit. Just like that. Hold Control, deselect the next row up. Click and drag the nodes over a little bit. Hold Control, deselect the next row up, click and drag. Hold Control, deselect the next row, click, drag. Hold Control, deselect these keys for the next row, click and drag one last time. All right, that looks good. I'm gonna click off of there, and we're gonna hit save. So that completes the audio meter. And the last thing we're gonna do is we're going to add a wave layer that spells out the word Batman on our keyboard. All right, so we're gonna click the wave effect layer. And with this new layer, we're gonna click and we're gonna drag it down below the reactive layer. So it's right between the reactive and the starlight layer. We're gonna double click on the name, and we're gonna change this layer to say Batman, because it's gonna spell out the word Batman. So next, what we're gonna do with this new Batman layer is we're gonna click on the B key, and we're gonna change our speed down to 4, and we're gonna change our angle to 0. Then we're gonna click on our color gradient, and we're gonna choose this multicolor pattern right here. So with this first node, we're gonna make sure that's drug all the way over to the right and make it invisible. Second node, also bring it as far right as you can and make it invisible. All of the nodes we're going to drag as far right as we possibly can, and we're going to make them invisible. Visible, drag, invisible, drag, invisible, drag, invisible. Okay, so we have a lot of invisible nodes over here on the right. Now what we're going to do with this B key is we're going to click on this very first node, and we're going to make it yellow. That's all we're going to do for this. We're going to hold Control and press C to copy the effect that we did there. And we're going to click on the A key, and we're going to hold Control V to paste. With this A key selected, click your color drop down, click this second node, make the second node yellow, and change this first node back to invisible. Hold Control and press C to copy the A key, and we're going to go to the T key. Hold Control, press V. So we pasted the effect from the A key onto the T key. Click your color gradient, click on the third node over, and we're going to make the third node yellow. Go back to the second node and make that invisible. Once you're done there, hold Control and press C to copy the effect we made on the T key, and we're going to go to M. On the M key, Control V to paste our T effect. Click the color drop down. We're going to click on our fourth node this time and make that yellow. Go back to the third node, make it invisible. So on the M key, we made the fourth node yellow. So that means for A, because we're using A already before, we already have a yellow gradient on here, right? So we're going to go to the fifth node. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fifth node, and we're going to make that yellow as well. So this A key is going to have 2 yellow nodes on it. Now we're going to copy the effect that we made there and go to the N key, Control V to paste it. Click on your color drop down. We're going to click on the second node and make that invisible. We're going to click on our 6th node, and we're going to make that yellow. The 5th node, we're going to change back to invisible, and we're going to hit save. So now when the keyboard is black, there's a chance that you see the spelling of the word Batman in your profile. All right, and that is all it takes to create this Batman Razer Chroma profile. Thank you guys so much for watching the tutorial. Here's the showcase to see what it looks like on my gaming setup. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe and bell icon so you guys don't miss out on future Razer keyboard lighting designs. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.